This is my Crested Gecko Mocha, and this here is her new enclosure. But first, let me take you on the journey on how we made it. Today, we're going to put her in this empty enclosure, and it's going to be above this not-so-empty enclosure that holds my gargoyle gecko, Indy. He's an asshole, and he doesn't like people, so we leave him alone. But we're going to go on a journey, get all the plants, and get everything we need to complete this beautiful 18 by 18 by 24 Crested Gecko enclosure. Our first stop was Royal Python's Cove, which is a reptile breeder in Woodbury, New Jersey. I highly recommend to come here if you're looking for any reptiles, geckos, pythons, snakes, and just anything in general. It's a really nice place. And we picked up our wood here, our isopods, and our springtails, which are what we needed. Of course, I forgot to record the next part, but we got some plants from Lowe's. I highly recommend it. You can also get them from the Depot or order off of Josh's Frogs or the Food. Then we start the very long and horrible process of moving around the silicone. You also have to add it first. I didn't record that part because I was struggling to mess with the silicone. But after you spread around the silicone, you want to get your expanding foam, and I usually put it not like even. I put it in a nice little pattern. It gives it some nice texture and stuff. And then you can see I'm adding the cork bark in the back, putting more expanding foam on top. I then start to add my sticks, little branches, places for my gecko to climb on, and it takes a lot of expanding foam, and I mean a lot. Once you have your expanding foam, your cork bark, and your plant pots in, then you have to wait for it to cure. I ended up spending this time cleaning my girlfriend's car. Nice effort. It's the best it will be. Once your expanding foam is cured, you have to start the very, very tedious process of cutting most of it. Any of the bubbles, all the sparkly stuff, you have to cut it all. It takes forever, and I didn't even record the whole process because it just takes so long. As you can see, some of the expanding foam is still wet. I did go over it a bit. If you do need to go back over, you can. Just means you have to wait more time to end up, cutting everything. Once you're done cutting off all of the foam, I ended up forgetting to record the process, and then when I did record the process to touch everything up with more silicone, I recorded it in the wrong format. But basically just put the silicone all over the foam after you cut it. If you do need to go back, I went back. I mean, it looks a lot better if you go back and take your time. And then after you're done all this, you just have to let it cure overnight because it's going to kill your gecko with all the fumes and stuff. Again, like everything else, I forgot to record the process. You're supposed to basically pick the enclosure up, tap it a bit, and get all the excess dirt off or excess cocoa fiber, whatever you use, your substrate. Then you add the leca, the balls, the clay balls, whatever you want to call them. And then you add your substrate barrier, and you add all your substrate. I used a mixture of Eco Earth, which is what I used for the background, made by ZoomEd, and I used a substrate from Josh's Frogs, I believe. Or the Bye Dude. I don't know. Somewhere. Anyway, this is when you start the process of putting all your plants in. You can put them however you like. You can change them. Just put them anywhere. If you have other plants, switch out. See what you like the best. I know some people have plants at home that they'll use. Like I said, got these from Lowe's. Anyways, once you put all your plants in, I start putting in my leaf litter, which is used for the isopods and the springtails. They eat it, they live off it, and it helps them survive in the enclosure. I also added a little thing at the bottom because, having a safe space at the bottom is important too. I stuttered. Damn. Anyways, this is when we add in our isopods and our springtails. These are what are going to eat up basically any of the poop, any mold that might start growing because of the moisture. And basically, they will live along with the gecko, unless the gecko eats them. Happens sometimes. Now we have the moment of truth. The moment everyone's been waiting for, the great, huge, humongous reveal. My gecko, Mocha. Just kidding, because you guys have already seen her. And anyways, the actual reveal is me putting her in her enclosure. As you can see, she jumps right in. right in. Look at her. She's loving it. She's loving it. She's feeling it. She's I don't know. I'm just making noises now. Anyway, if I pick up the phone faster, there's Mocha, and this is her new enclosure. This is a message from the great beyond. If you notice that this video has almost no effort, it's because there almost is no effort. I just wanted to upload this and, you know, see how it does. If it does good, more effort. If it does bad, it wasn't a waste of my time. So I'm not seeing the issue here. But if you did like this video, I want you to like, subscribe, comment down below if you want more, if you want longer videos, and they will all be about my reptiles because I gave up on everything else and my life is reptiles now. Bye.